Welcome to The Explainer. We love breaking down big ideas into simple, actionable steps. And today we're jumping into something that is absolutely critical for the next decade, really. We're talking about building a personal brand that doesn't just get noticed, but one that actually matters.
So let's just get right to the heart of it, shall we? This is the big question. Because it's not about who can shout the loudest anymore, is it? Not at all. It's about who people actually trust. And here's the thing. In 2026, trust is everything. It's your most valuable asset. I mean, think about it. AI is just pumping out content nonstop, and we're all just completely overwhelmed by it. Neil Patel said something really smart about this. He said competitors can copy your product, your ads, even your prices, but the one thing they can never, ever copy, it's the trust you've built. And when people are drowning in options, they don't sit there and analyze everything. Nope, they just go with the voices they already know.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this all down. We'll start with the age of noise, then talk about your brand as a verb. Super important. We'll cover the 3 content pillars, the omni-channel machine, how to turn trust into real assets, and we'll wrap up with the compounding effect. Let's get into it.
Okay, first up, the age of noise. We really need to understand the world we're playing in right now because, let me tell you, it's not just a little crowded. It's a whole different ballgame.
So, we are basically drowning in what you could call content white noise. It's this idea of a cacophony of clutter. I love that phrase. Because with all these AI tools and a million different platforms, anyone can create content, right? But the irony is, the easier it is for everyone to create, the harder it is for you to be heard. And look at this. This chart tells a huge story. The platforms themselves are basically telling us what to do. You see that? A text post. Maybe 2% of your people see it. But turn that same idea into a short video, boom, you're looking at 10, maybe 15% reach. The algorithms are pushing video hard because, well, that's where we're all looking. And all of this noise, it creates this thing, let's call it the trust deficit. What is that? It's when we're so overwhelmed that we retreat. We stick with the people we already know and trust, and we ignore everyone else. Now, if you're new, that's a huge wall to climb. But if you've already built that trust, man, that is a massive advantage. It's like having a fortress.
Okay, so enough about the problem. Let's talk solutions. Section 2. Your brand is a verb. And I really want you to lean in for this part because this is a mindset shift that changes everything. And it's where most people get it wrong.
So here's the difference. The old way, thinking of your brand as a noun. You focus on follower counts, likes, all those vanity metrics. But the new way, the right way, is to see your brand as a verb. It's not about what you have. It's about what your audience does. That's the only thing that matters. Are they actually changing their behavior because of you? So what does a working brand actually look like in practice? Well, you'll see your audience start doing 3 things. First, they consume deeply. They don't just see one post. They go down the rabbit hole and binge all your stuff. Second, they share it organically. Not because you begged them to, but because your content becomes a part of their identity. And third, they buy from you with way less friction because you've already closed that trust gap. And this Neil Patel quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? 1 million followers who scroll past you is worth less than 10,000 people who actually change their behavior because of you. See, it's not about just getting attention. It's about earning influence. That is the entire game.
Okay, that's the what and the why. But what about the how? How do you actually do this? Well, it all comes down to a clear framework for what you talk about. Let's get into the 3 content pillars.
I want you to think of your content like a 3-legged stool. You need all 3 legs or the whole thing falls over. First, you've got growth content. This is the stuff that has viral potential, the stuff that brings new people in. Then you have authority content. This is where you prove you know your stuff, which builds credibility and helps you sell. And finally, you have authenticity content. This is where you show you're a real person. And that, my friends, is how you build deep, lasting trust. And this leads to a huge point. The most profitable niche isn't some super specific thing like Facebook ads for dentists. No, the most profitable niche is you. It's the unique intersection of all your skills and interests. Your brand isn't a topic, it's you. And the best part? This means you can change and evolve over time without having to completely start over. All right, so you know what to talk about. Great, but how do you get it out there without completely burning yourself out? You need a system, a machine. This is where a lot of people trip up, so let's build one. Look, your audience doesn't just live in one place, right? They're everywhere, so your content can't just be in one place either. The same person who finds you on a 30-second TikTok might be the person who wants to listen to your hour-long deep dive on their commute. You have to be in all those places. And this is the machine. It's brilliant. You're not creating 10 pieces of content. No way. You create one big flagship piece, like a killer YouTube video, and then you break it down. That one video becomes 5 or 10 short clips for TikTok and Reels. It becomes a blog post for Google. It becomes an email for your subscribers and a post for LinkedIn. See? Create once, distribute everywhere. It's a game changer. Okay, next section, turning trust into assets. Because let's be real, followers on social media, you're just renting them. The platform owns them. An algorithm changes and poof, they're gone. The real goal here is to turn that rented audience into an asset that you actually own.
And how do you do that? With something called a lead magnet. It's a super simple idea. It's a value exchange. You give away something really valuable for free. A guide, a checklist, a template, whatever. And in exchange, they give you their email address. And just like that, you've moved them from a public space you don't control to a private one you do.
Now, for this to work, your sign-up form has to be perfect. Be crystal clear about what they get. Get the 30-day launch part. Perfect. Only ask for their email. That's it. Nobody wants to fill out a long form. Oh, and use an image. The numbers show it makes a huge difference in conversions. And please, please make sure it looks good on a phone. Simple stuff, but it matters.
All right, last section. And this one might be the most important of all. We're going to talk about the one thing that makes all of this work and the biggest reason most people fail. You have to understand that brand growth isn't a straight line. It looks more like this. For the first 6 months, maybe even a year, you feel like you're getting nowhere. It's just crickets. But what's really happening is you're laying a foundation. You're building a content library, getting ranked on Google, building a reputation, and then it happens. The compounding effect kicks in, and suddenly growth just takes off like a rocket. And this is so, so important. The number one reason people fail at this isn't because their content is bad. It's because they quit. They quit right before that compounding was about to kick in. You have to treat this like brushing your teeth. It's just something you do every day, consistently, even when you don't feel like it, even when you don't see results right away, because the real prize is just on the other side of that dip. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Your personal brand already exists right now. It's what people are saying and thinking about you. The only real question is, are you the one building it, or are you just letting it happen to you?